My name is Nelson Tugume.
Thank you very much, Nelson. And it gives me, I think, very great pleasure to be on sharing the same stage with an innovator such as yourself, and somebody I think who's taking Ugandan coffee to the next level, not just exporting it to the world, but doing what we've always been talking about, which is value addition. So my first question, and I think I've been asking it even outside of here, unofficially, why coffee? Why now? How come value addition has become so topical, and yet we've had this coffee for generations? Uganda is the home of Robusta in the world. So what has changed? How did we cross that tipping point? Yeah.
Thank you, Juliana. Once again, my name is Nelson Tugume, the CEO of the Inspire Africa Group. Nelson Tugume is a third generation coffee farmer, meaning my grandparents and grandparents have been growing coffee. So it means that Uganda, we've been growing coffee for the last 100 years. And sooner than later, I realized this was an industry of $460 billion. $460 billion, Uganda at the time, was getting less than $800 million out of $460 billion. So I went into why, asked lots of questions, and I realized that as part of the Africa Renaissance, part of the Africa Now, friends, I'm tired of you people telling us that Africa is the future. Please, if you're in that category, could you remove yourself now? Africa is now. And I'm Africa now because I've been told by grandparents, by my parents, that we're going to get enough money about 20, 30, 40 years ago out of our coffee. And up to now, I see Uganda has now crossed to $1 billion, about $2 billion now, out of the $460 billion. But we proud ourselves and say Uganda is the leading coffee producer and coffee exporter in Africa, and still gets less than $2 billion. Now the governor is telling me that we've crossed about $2 billion. So my answer to you and the investors and people in this room and the UK is what could be the problem. And that's why we've come up. And we would like to disrupt on how Africa has been thinking, on how we, the young people, have been thinking, to be able to tap this share. And I'm calling all the African people, the investors here in the UK, that please come to Uganda and we tap into this treasure of $460 billion. It's time for us to make money. If we made only $10 billion in this room, I mean, guys, I'm not talking about shillings, $10 billion. So that's why we've been able, as Inspire Africa Group, to mobilize about $300 million to set up the biggest Africa coffee park in Africa, in Uganda. Mm-hmm. And for what reason? One, if you really want to tap enough money, you must think big. I'm in this room looking for another $1.2 billion to realize the dream of the Africa Coffee Park. So if you're in this room to come and make with me money, I'm looking for $1.2 billion. Right now we are at the stage of producing. Honorable Minister of Energy has given us enough power, which was a problem, and other amenities where the government has really come in on the $300 million. Actually, we're proud to thank the government and especially the president, who has championed to make sure we mobilize these $300 million to make sure we take a bold step. We still have a further step to take to make sure we become the champions of the world. I can just tell you something. Just only soluble coffee is a $180 billion around the world. We only have Colombia, Vietnam, and Brazil doing the soluble coffees. I mean the producer countries. We want to be number 4 in Africa, but also in the world, to make sure we are the best to really produce soluble coffee for the world and other global markets. So if you're an investor in this, it's your time to come and join us. But most importantly, Juliana, we are in this to disrupt, not just for making money. I also lead millions of farmers who have decided that they are ready to collaborate with other investors globally. Next time when I'm here listing on the London Stock Exchange, it's a representation of me and the African farmers. Like I said, I'm a third coffee generation farmer. I went to school without shoes. I hustled like any other African young man. It's a pity. It's of great pain. Friends, listen to me. Still see African coffee farmers still going to school without shoes. And we come here and enjoy a good cup of coffee. It's something that we need to think about and equalize and bring balance to the global stage, to these young, upcoming coffee farmers. And that's the reason why I'm actually tell you that it's actually not shameful, but I think it's the world to start thinking to bring this imbalance to the global stage. We can't enjoy a good cup of coffee when our brothers, when our good friends are still going to school without shoes. I went to school without shoes. I know what that means. I was a son of a coffee farmer. And I know so many of them. And that's why I'm here to represent so many, because they can't be here.